And I just wanted to address a couple of things that sort of keep coming up in the comments amongst fans. First, I wanted to apologize to the fans that I did not anatomically match the Fay Valentine character. 6 foot, double D size breast, 2-inch waist. You know, they looked everywhere for that woman and they couldn't find her. It's kind of weird. So they just went with my short ass. I know. Am I right? You know, there was talk about, like, can we put Daniela in a time machine and maybe give her different parents so she has different genetic information to sort of make her look better? It proved to be too complicated. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was I want to apologize that the outfit I'm wearing is not exactly what she wears in the anime. You know, we tried, but doing stunts in tissue paper, things disappear, they rip. Sometimes it just got lost. Anyway, like I was saying, that original costume, they made a couple of them, but like I said, they got sort of slurped up in my various crevices.
That one was Daniella Pineda, who is playing Fay Valentine in the upcoming Cowboy Bebop Netflix live-action adaptation. As you can see, she is mocking the fans once again and thinking that fans are toxic and they are to blame if anything happens, like for instance if this thing fails. Once again, Netflix is proving that they just look into franchises because of a quick cash grab that they can get from this. That's the only thing. That's the only motivation behind their intentions and their actions. This, like Masters of the Universe, for example, is another example of how these franchises are destroyed for not respecting little bits of, whether you call it lore or characterization or mythology, whatever you call it, whatever you want to look into, that is not getting respected, and that is causing problems with the already established fandom. And that's the thing. Franchises like Masters of the Universe, like Cowboy Bebop, they already have an already well-established, well-built fan base, and those guys are expecting to see their characters taken from the paper or from the animation cell into live-action series or shows, movies, whatever you want to call it, and be respected with their looks. After all, if you are waiting for a Batman adaptation, whether you call it another animation or you call it a movie or a TV show, what you are expecting is to see a character that is wearing the iconic costume. There can be variations of it, of course, but you always expect to see the costume. And you would never expect, for instance, to have Batman just running around in plain clothes with his face completely in the open for everyone to see who he is and chasing criminals. That would not make sense and would not be with what the character is and has been for all the time that it has been inside the collective consciousness of the population in general. The same situation with this adaptation. For the fans of Cowboy Bebop, Valentine has always looked with that iconic outfit. So when Pineda comes with these ideas that the costume was impossible for playing stunts or anything like that, well, just look at that picture, and I have more here. As you can see, she is wearing even skimpier outfits in this that is called The Detour. It's a very obscure show in my opinion because I had not heard about it, but Pineda appears there prominently, and as you can see, even if the outfit is not yellow, it is even less than her Fay Valentine outfit. I'm talking about this being even more revealing than the Valentine outfit, the original one from the both manga and the anime. And yet, she seems to have no problem at all here to move, to go on her knees for that scene, to sort of dance or whatever she's doing, you know, raising her leg and touching it. She seems to have no problem whatsoever to move and to do something. So it doesn't really make sense for me that she is saying that the outfit was hard to work with because you couldn't move and you could not perform stunts. Now, if it was so difficult for her, well, don't they have enough money there on Netflix to hire, I don't know, stuntmen and stunt women that can do the job for them? The thing here is that, of course, once again, they are afraid of showing these very revealing costumes because they might get cancelled by the angry Twitter mob that always finds fault with something, and that, of course, would go after Netflix, after the show, after the actors for the characterizations from the original manga and the original TV show, the anime. So, in response, they make these changes. But when Daniella Pineda says that she apologizes for not being the right boob size or the right body type, let me just tell you something. I have seen many fans complaining that she was not right for the costume, not for her looks, not for her body type. How many times have we really had a body type that is accurate to the characterization, like, for instance, Wolverine? I mean, Hugh Jackman is huge, man. I mean, he's really tall. He's not that dwarvish looking fellow that Wolverine has always been in the comic books, but he brings something to the character, which is the characterization, and also he looks iconic with his claws and with his hairdo. Yes, they cannot bring, maybe, or they could not bring back in the day the original costumes, but at least an effort was made to make them look like uniforms that these people would actually wear. Like with Batman, his costume was changed for an armor, but it's still the iconic Batman costume. And the same goes with this thing. If you have this character, at least have them try as much as you can to make them look like the original character. People like Matt Jarbo, for example, have complained that the cosplayers don't have to move around, they don't have to perform stunts, but it seems to me that Jarbo has not been to conventions very often, where cosplayers act and they interpret the characters they are in at that moment. They move around, they go from here to there. Of course, they are there inside those costumes for hours on end. They sweat in them. They don't get disintegrated. They are well performed. And they do it even better than all these Hollywood big shots like Netflix here. So, it's a matter of wanting to do it, not a matter of whether it can be done or not. Because if cosplayers can do it, then of course Hollywood can do it, because they have even more resources than any other person doing something in the commodity of their homes, or sometimes even under their homes, you know, in their basements where they have their workshops where they sew and where they create this magic. So there is no excuse, really. What I think is that maybe Daniela was instructed into releasing this statement, saying this is what is happening, this is what happened to me, and mocking the fans. Because it seems to me this is the Hollywood standard, you know, the Hollywood behavior. The thing that we always have. Blame the fans. They are the ones that suck. They are the terrible ones. Hate them. They are the enemy. Then why do you do this? And that's an honest question. If you hate the fans so much, why do you create something that is for them in the first place? Do you really think that many people outside these communities are going to really tune into that? To Cowboy Bebop or to Lupin or something like that? Do you really think that they are going to tune in? Of course not. The first audience that you have is precisely the people that enjoy this from the past, from the series, from the anime, from the manga. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you want to go that way, but that is the way in which we have seen Hollywood operate. And we know the procedure. Don't consume. Don't accept. Don't buy. Close your wallet. That is the only language that these imbeciles can speak, because they do this, of course, for money. So, don't give it to them. Get them thirsty for it, hungry for it, begging at your door for your money. And I promise you that we will have a turn of the tide quicker than anything. And they will start making things again for all of us. But of course, that is just my opinion. Let me know yours down below in the comments. And until next time, peace out.